to introduce you as the head coach of the Louisville men's basketball program.
There he is. Pat Kelsey is officially the head basketball coach at U of L. The 48-year-old Cincinnati native spent the past 3 years as head coach at College of Charleston in South Carolina. He led that team to the NCAA tournament the last 2 seasons and was named the 2024 Coastal Athletic Association Coach of the Year. During his announcement, Kelsey talked about rebuilding the culture of U of L's basketball program.
This is your program. This is your program. You don't ever have to call. You never have to ask. You want to come to practice, you just show up. This is your program. You built this. You put banners up in the rafters. I'm lucky to be the steward right now and lead this thing into the next era. So blessed to be the head coach here. L's up. Go Cards.
So we've been saying Kelsey is U of L's second new coach in 2 years, but in reality, it's more like third in just over 2 years.
Yeah, it's been definitely a rough couple of years, rough couple of seasons under Kenny Payne as well, and fans are demanding results in the new era of U of L men's basketball. WHAS11's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Aspen Hester spoke with some of those fans who say Kelsey's energy has them hopeful.
After a tough few weeks, Cards fans now have their guy.
And I'm willing to give him a chance. I think he's going to do good just off the cuff.
And I think this guy is another guy that can come in and kill it, you know, and don't be surprised if he does.
His high-octane energy.
He's not the biggest name that people will know in college basketball, but he showed today that, you know, he is ready for the job.
Serving as motivation for fans to move forward.
The energy, the enthusiasm, that's great.
For Hall of Fame coach Denny Crum's wife, Susan Sweeney Crum, it wasn't just Kelsey's energy.
It's just a different level.
But the respect he showed in his highly anticipated introduction to Cards fans.
He recognized Kenny than what he did here in being a Cardinal. He recognized the other Cardinal players in the history of the program. And in spite of his youth, he knows who Denny is. So that makes me happy too.
For close to an hour, Coach Kelsey spoke to a captivated crowd, a who's who of Card Nation. From former players.
I just think his energy, bringing that energy, that positive energy.
To former U of L assistant coaches.
I know he's already hit the ground running with the portal, endearing himself to the boosters, NIL.
And Cards fans.
I just think he's going to be the best that we got right now.
Seem ready to embrace that change.
Got to bring a whole new team in. He's starting from scratch.
That whole era, the NIL, the portal and all that, I don't know how I would handle it. He seems to be able to do it, so I'm excited.
He's going to be working to get things at U of L back to where they need to be.
Yeah. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, WHAS 11 on your side.
So Pat Kelsey has signed a 5-year deal worth $2.3 million a year. It's about $1 million less than what Kenny Payne was making. Kelsey's contract also includes several bonuses, like $50,000 for an ACC championship win or an NCAA tournament appearance. U of L must also pay the College of Charleston $1.1 million for Kelsey's buyout through the year 2028. It's one of the few buyouts the school's managing right now. Chris Mack's with the university was $4.8 million, while Kenny Payne's could be about $8 million. We haven't really heard yet if they've settled for a lower amount, though that is possible. If you'd like to watch Pat Kelsey's announcement in full, we'd recommend it. He is an entertaining guy. We've got that video up on WHAS 11's YouTube page.
5 minutes after the hour now, and state lawmakers will create a task force to examine the possibility of splitting up Jefferson County Public Schools. House Resolution 81 passed the Senate with a vote of 30-7 yesterday. That committee would be made up of lawmakers, educators, and members of the public to evaluate how JCPS manages itself. And this comes after an audit released earlier this week accused the district of poor communication in the rollout of its transportation plan coming into this school year. WHAS 11 senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez had a conversation with several people, including Senator Lindsay Tishner, who wants to look into whether JCPS is too big. And she says they'll be taking that audit into consideration in their task force.
And when you're talking about transportation, the issue was on such a big scale at JCPS, it's not going to be a quick fix. And I think it was very smart of their board to push this decision on as they reevaluate and look at the information of that 250-page document. And, you know, we'll be considering their decisions and just look at a broad scope of things as we go through and forward with this task force.
Since that task force resolution is a request for action rather than a change of law, Governor Beshear cannot veto it. That means the task force is happening with a recommendations report due by December.
Now, this all comes as the JCPS Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Rob Folk, has pushed back against that audit. In a letter to the board, Dr. Folk refutes what he calls several false claims from the auditor, including those about the bus driver shortage. The auditor says JCPS is only down 17 bus drivers. But Folk says that claim lacks understanding of the issue. Folk says they've got 552 drivers to cover 569 routes, and that doesn't account for drivers calling out sick. To cover every route, Folk says they would need 621 drivers to be on time. Folk only took over as Chief Operating Officer in October, so we asked JCPS if anybody else was available to talk about the claims in the audit that Folk wasn't around for. The district said it's not doing interviews at this time.
Louisville Metro Police will join family and friends of fallen officer Nick Rodman today for a memorial service. Rodman died in the line of duty 7 years ago today after a crash during a pursuit. Today's service is at Cave Hill Cemetery. A procession will start at 8:45 with the memorial starting at 9.